Every life is filled with stories. Some heroic, others comforting and emotional, but each of them unique in their own right. Yet there is one thing they all have in common. If nobody is there to tell them, those tales will be forgotten. Ah, hello there, my friend. Would you like to listen to one of my tales? Please, have a seat. What story do you want to hear? How about a tale of a fierce warrior who could defeat a dragon with just his voice? Or the story of a grim monster hunter who is tracking down a horde of demonic beasts? Or maybe just the story of a farmer who is helping his community thrive? What's my story? Now that is a rare request. Okay, let me see. Alright, get comfortable. Well, I'll tell you the tale of the Taleteller. Ever since I was young, I loved stories. Reading about mythical beasts and their origins, or losing myself in tales of adventure. Truly, there was nothing I liked more. And yet, as I grew older, my priorities unfortunately had to shift. Responsibilities, work, life in general. I just didn't have the time anymore to lose myself in stories. But even then, whenever life became too grey and mundane, I kept thinking about these stories again, and I never stopped cherishing them. On one of these times, I remembered the legends of a mountain near my hometown, a place where tales supposedly came to life. I don't know why, but thinking about it excited me more than usual. On a whim, I decided I will go for a little hiking tour there. On my next day off, I packed my bag, and before I knew it, I was at the foot of the mountain. It was so serene, just what I needed to escape the monotony. The birds sang their songs, and I hummed along. The gentle splashing of a brook, the rustling of the leaves in the wind. My mind began to wander up the mountain, alongside my feet. But the serenity did not last. A storm was fast approaching, and only then I realized I lost track of where I went. I had to find shelter. Within minutes, the storm was here. Heavy rain broke over me, thunder and lightning getting ever closer. Though luck was on my side. I found a small cave alongside the mountain wall. It was not much, but at least I was safe from the elements. I observed the storm from my little hideout, thinking I was safe. But a thunderbolt struck right at my feet. I fell back in the cave, trying to catch myself. Then, another crack. But this time, it wasn't thunder. It was the floor itself. It began crumbling underneath my feet, and I fell into a dark abyss. The next thing I remember, I woke up, lying on a stony ground, shocked but luckily unharmed. I looked around and found myself in a strange cave. Luminescent moss covered the walls, crystals protruding out of the ground, and pools of clear and cool water. I started exploring the cave, looking for an exit. I was just about to drink some water from one of the ponds when I noticed something. A colorful glow emanating from a large crack in the wall. Maybe it was a way out? I approached the strange light to take a closer look. I found a pedestal made out of crystals, and an old book with a necklace lying on top of it. I approached the pedestal carefully and grabbed the pendant and the tome. I sat down on a nearby rock and began reading. The book was filled with countless stories, many of which I have never heard before. I completely lost track of time as I was flipping through the pages. Each story more engaging than the last. And yet, somewhere in the middle, it stopped. No more tales or stories, only empty pages. It was disappointing. Despite everything I just read, I wanted more. Where did those stories come from? And why did they stop? I wish I could experience more of them. And as I uttered those words, the crystal in my hand began to glow, brighter and brighter, until the light engulfed me whole. It startled me and I fell back. But to my surprise, I didn't land on the hard cave floor. I was lying in a grassy field, and the bright sun illuminating my face. As I stood up, I noticed I wasn't at the mountain or cave anymore. I was standing atop of a small hill and saw a lively medieval village straight out of one of my storybooks and a magnificent castle overlooking it. I was awestruck. Did I just get transported into another world? I picked up the book from the ground and was just about to head out towards the town as a small note fell out of it. It read, "A tale left untold is a story forever lost in darkness. Take up the tome and the crystal, travel the worlds and see to it that their stories are never left untold. Esto lux fabulis numquam narratis." Soon after, I figured out it was the necklace that transported me. By hearing my wish of experiencing more stories. From then on, I started traveling through different worlds. I witnessed many wonders and stories, the likes I could only read about. I began filling the empty pages of the book with my own adventures, and wherever I went, I regaled people with my tales. Seeing the sparks in the eyes of others when I retold those stories, it brings me so much joy. Throughout my journey, I saw fantastical places and realms, each more beautiful than the last. And also, along the way, I made countless new friends, more than I could ever imagine. I left my old life behind. It's just too much fun being a wandering taleteller, helping people out and exploring different worlds. But don't worry, my friend, this is not the end. Oh no, I'm just getting started. Because now, I am Lux Taleor, the light for stories never told. And that's my story. I hope you enjoyed it. And I also hope you stop by again. I can assure you, I have many more stories to tell. Until then, bye bye.